Hello, everyone. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to day 2 of the administration module. I was waiting if others want to join this morning, but it seems that most people want to join the afternoon. So we'll go ahead and we'll start. So yesterday we looked at the administration module and we saw the different permissions and the different functionalities that these permissions hold. We want to look at the offline template functionality. And for the purpose of this walkthrough, I have created the sheet so that we will have commonly the kind of common problems that you might encounter and how to solve them. But on your live server, when I do the update this weekend, I'll create it. I'll update it so that you won't have the same problems that we have now. But we need to do the training so that you will be able to handle issues when they arise. I will log in as an administrator, and a user assigned the administration role doesn't need to have any permission to be able to upload offline data. There is a menu here, upload offline data, and when you click on offline upload screening template, you will come to this page. You click on here to download the template. Now, before we download that template, we need to understand something. To get offline and to work on offline templates, we want the system to hold a template that is an Excel spreadsheet that is going to collect all the screening information you collect on the system once you are screening, the risk factors information and all that. And in the event you go for outreach or somewhere without internet connection, or there's a site without internet but have devices, they can have this template where they just enter the screenings and then upload it into the system. This is a little technical, not so technical, but you have to be a little more careful to allow the system accept the sheet. And so there are rules to follow. One of the rules is when you download it, it is an Excel spreadsheet. And we all know what an Excel spreadsheet is. Excel sheet is always has the extension XLS, X depending on the version, and it's usually a binary file format. And binary files will hold information about all of the worksheets in the file, including content and formatting. Although you download it as Excel from the system will not accept it back as Excel because of that binary file format. We need to convert it to a different file format that is going to have plain text that is just separated by commas. And we call this a CSV file. CSVs are comma separated values, and they store raw data without the formatting, formulas, or any advanced features, and they are just plain text. CSV and Excel are open with the same Excel app on the system, but you fill in everything as an Excel sheet and then you save it as a CSV file before you upload. So we're going to demonstrate that, and this is one part that everybody has to have a hands on, which we will do in the later part of today. So I have put a sheet, I edited a template to have different values so that we can illustrate all of the rules that we need to keep to, but you might not find that way on your live server. So I'll click here to download, and take note of your directory where this is going to be downloaded to. So this will download in my downloads directory, and I'll open that sheet. So now it's an Excel sheet because of the file extension. We can see that it is XLSX, and we want to look at all of the different sheets that is downloaded from there. Does anyone have question? I hope I'm not going too fast. Am I going too fast? Anyone can hear me?
Yes, hearing.
Okay. Is it clear up to this point, or I should repeat myself?
Can you repeat, please, Metro?
Okay.
Yes, Megan, repeat, please, first. Thanks.
All right. Okay, so I'll delete what I downloaded so that we can work on it again. Okay. The administration module is a module of the screenings and of the patient management and reporting system. When you log in as an administrator, even without permissions assigned, you will find a menu called Upload Offline Data. When you expand this, you will see Upload Screening Template. When you click on this, it brings you to this page. We have 2 forms on this page, or 2 parts to this page. This left part holds instructions, and when you read the instruction, it says do not edit the column name or the preset values on the worksheet. After filling in the information on the first sheet labeled Client Batch Upload, save the sheet to another location as a .csv file before upload. You have to download this template every time you want to upload information on the system. And if you have sites that are not using the system yet, maybe there is no internet connection, you can make them enter the data on the spreadsheet instead. And then maybe you make it at the end of every week, submit the spreadsheet to the supervisor. You don't want them to keep the spreadsheet for so long and have so much data on one sheet. You can make a rule in the country and say, make sure on each sheet you have just 10 clients or 20 clients. And if it's every week, there won't be too much. So submit it every Friday. And that way you can trace errors faster and you can upload in bits instead of uploading bulk at once, and then you have to start locating all the row numbers that failed because the data was not so standard. There are rules that we have to follow to make this work. And for the peculiarity of the islands, this was just the best option to come up with something that will work better. When you want to collect data offline, you have to come to this link and click here to download the template. This template is going to be an Excel sheet. Now, I talked about Excel sheet and I talked about CSV file. Excel sheet is the binary file format that holds information about all of the worksheets, including all the contents and all the formattings that you have. And that's what we use Excel to do all of those data we collect. Most of you have used Excel before. But the system will not accept the Excel sheet back because of those binary file formats. We want to get just the raw data out of those file formats. And so once we enter data, we have to convert it to something we call a comma-separated value file, which is a CSV file. CSV file is also opened with an Excel app, but it just stores the raw data in plain text as a comma-separated list. When you open a CSV file, apart from the file extension, you will never know that it is not an Excel sheet, but you have to make that conversion before you upload. And so I will download and I will demonstrate that. So I have the spreadsheet downloaded and I'll open that sheet. Take note of all of the different sheets that we have here. The first sheet and the sheet of interest is the client batch upload sheet. This is where we collect all of the record. It has several columns. You must not edit any of this column. The system will reject any edit you do to the preset values that are on this system. We have other sheets that controls the drop-down menu on the first sheet. Let's look at facility type, for instance. It gives you a drop-down menu to make it faster when you are filling this information. When we say sites, it gives you a drop-down menu of all the testing sites that you have, so you don't have to type free field. All of the reporting values are not free field. They have to be things that you type in. You select from. You can't type them in. They have to be things you select from. Now, all the sheets that we see here have values in them already that I created for this demonstration. On your live servers, or your live systems, the values must match the values in your configuration. So let's start from this. The sheets of interest that you need to match with your configuration are the testing sites, the ethnicity, the test modalities, the type of test or the type of screenings, the gender identity list, the parish, and the health district. I will outline all of this in the manual that you will receive at the end of the training workshop series. The sheets of interest are the testing sites. Now, we have a sheet called testing sites. We have all of these sites, but when we come back here to look at our configuration, the testing sites are not the same. So when you come here, make sure the first row is not deleted. I want to delete everything here. So you will not be doing what I'm doing now, but I'm trying to show you in the event that for whatever reason you need to edit your sheet, or let's say you have new site now and you want that site to be listed on your template, the only other solution apart from doing it programmatically is to download the sheet as a supervisor, make the edit on the sheet and share that sheet for them to use as their templates to work with. So I want to delete all of this here. This one must remain the same, exactly the same capitalization and the same way. Then I want to come to my configuration. Now, earlier on, there was a request that everyone should submit the same sheet, configuring their site, ethnicity, modality, test type, gender identity, parish, health district. Now, this is the reason, so that your default template on the system will match your configuration. And so the updates I will be doing this weekend on everybody's server is to match whatever configuration you have on your live server to the sheets that you have on your system, so that when you're using it, it accepts it as everything is now the same. So your default template has all of this and you won't need to do this step, except in the future you have a new site that you added on your system. The next thing you want to do is to add it on the sheet. So I'll take this and I'll paste it here. It must be the same capitalization, the same spacing, it must be exactly the same. So it's just easier to copy and paste. So we have the list of the testing sites on that sheet site. We want to look at the next one we need to do here. Let's see the ethnicity. The ethnicity list here doesn't match the ethnicity we have configured here. And so we want them to match. So I'll copy and paste everything here into this sheet. So once you're editing, make sure that the column heading is never changed or deleted. This is very sensitive, and this is the only way we could actually put the security that is required and allow the system to collect the correct reporting values. So you can just copy everything from your configuration to your sheet. Now this step will only happen within countries if you have made configuration changes, which now means that the end users, when they download the sheets, they will not find the new option on the sheet. You have to download the sheet yourself, edit this configuration or update this to match your configuration, and then share the updated sheet. When you are sharing it, you are sharing as an Excel sheet. When they're entering the information, they're entering as an Excel sheet. When it's time to now submit those information, that is when you have to convert to CSV. So what we are doing now is matching the values on all of these other sheets that holds the option values for the main sheet that controls all of this drop-down menu that we have. We've done the testing site, we've done the ethnicity. Let's do the modality here, and we want to make sure that the modality here matches the modality in the configuration we did yesterday, test modalities. And I'm going to copy this, and so we're done with the test modalities. So these are one-time steps that you'll do. It's not something you have to do all the time. It's something that once you do it once, you already have your template configured. Now, the templates you will download from your live site will already match the values in your configuration by the time I run the update. And that is for countries who actually have configured their system. If it has not been configured, then it won't match and you have to do this step. So I might send an email out later for everybody to make sure your configurations are complete so that I can match the values on your spreadsheet and make sure your template holds your values. So this step will be skipped except in the event you have something new to add, which will be just adding one thing to the sheet. So we want to do the type of test. Let's look at the test types. So HIV rapid test, HIV ELISA. Let's just work with these ones that we're going to use, and I'll leave the rest on the sheet because we will need them. But you have to match them to make sure all the values you have here that you want the users to select exist on the sheet. So let's look at screening list, and then I want to take this. I already have it there, but I want to make sure it is exactly the same spacing. So I will just paste what I have here. This is not the same spacing with the ELISA I have here. I have this. I have TPPA, TPHA. So I have all the others in the same capitalization. And I'll stop here for illustration because this is a very long list. So make sure that all the values you have on your configuration exist on the sheet in the same capitalization. It is very dangerous for you to leave values that you don't have here on the sheet. Now, because I already know the values I don't have, I'm not going to select values that I don't have in the configuration on the system. What will happen is if the user selects this value, then that particular row of information will not be updated as it has a value that does not match any configuration value on the system. So we've done this part. I don't know if we'll have expert TV here because we'll also illustrate with this one. We'll add it to the end. And then we want to look at the gender identity list. We'll look for the sheet that holds gender identity. And then we want to make sure the gender identities here all exist here. Is it understandable?
Yes.
Okay. So we have female, male, not applicable, transgender, transsexual, unknown. And here we have everything apart from this. And so I'll delete that. Okay. So we have the gender identity list matching. So we want to look at the parish now. And the parish list and the parish here, I don't think they're the same. So we'll begin to copy the parish name. And then we'll paste here. Try not to type it in, try to copy and paste because sometimes we type and we'll have errors and we'll not spot the error, especially if the error is having things like double space or capitalizations are different. So you want to just go to your configuration and make sure you paste them. And so the last one we'll look at is the health district. So there are 7, I think, of the sheets that you need to make sure matches your configuration. The testing sites, the ethnicities, the modalities, the screening list, the gender identity list, the parish, and then the health district. And so we're going to delete all of this. So make sure you're not deleting the first cell. That is the heading, and the heading is the reference for the drop-down menu. And so we'll look at the health district that we configured here. So we're still on the parish. Health district. Now, the thing about the sheet is it might end up leading to more complete data collection because of how sensitive it is and how it will enforce that all the required fields are filled in before the system accepts it. So the system will not even accept the spreadsheet with incomplete information at the end of the day. So we've filled in all the important spreadsheet information, or the different sheets information that we need to match values for the drop-down menu. Now the active sheet should always be your client batch upload sheet, and this is the sheet we are going to be converting to CSV. Now we'll have, let's fill in information, serial number 1, the unique ID of the client. Now what the spreadsheet does is you can have new clients and you can have existing clients. For existing clients, you must enter their unique ID as they have it. For new clients, you can enter a unique ID that's maybe they presented an ID card and you put the ID number, or you use their hospital registration number, or whatever number you use for unique IDs within the country, or you generate testing code, whatever it is, you put it here. So if the system detects that this person doesn't exist on the system, it creates an account. If the person exists, it just updates the values of the person. So let's just do some hypothetical people. Let's say EEE 111, and let's say the testing site is testing site Antigua, facility type, let's say care and treatment, first name. Now again, depending on the rule within the country, you either collect the full name or the first letter of the name. Either one will be accepted by the system, but these fields need to be filled in. I know the standard is first letter of the name, and sometimes some countries collect names. So let's use the name. Let's say Jane, and let's say Jane has a middle name of Anna and last name of David. Jane's mother's maiden name is, let's say, Solomon, and Jane is let's say female, and the day of birth is, let's say, 4th day of March, and the year of birth is, let's say, 1989. Country of birth will give us a list, and we can select Antigua and Barbuda. Country of residence. Address, let's just put any address, 111 Success Street. Health district, District Antigua. Parish. Marital status, let's say she is single. Occupation, let's say employed. Sexual orientation, heterosexual. Gender identity, let's say female. Ethnicity. So you see, this is populated by the list that we have. Black. Education level, let's say college. Number of sexual partners, let's say 2 to 4. Oral sex, let's say no, so leave it blank. Vaginal sex, and let's say anal, let's leave it blank. Diabetic, we'll say no. High blood pressure, let's say yes. So I'm just filling in values for us to test how to upload this when we're done. Let's say alcoholism, no. Malnutrition, let's say no. Renal disease, let's say yes. Lymphoma, let's say no. Chronic lung disease, let's say no. Test modality, let's say in the public facility. Type of test 1, HIV rapid test, let's say test kit is determined. And test result, let's say it's reactive. Results day, let's say it's 9th. Today is the 8th, let's say 8th day of October. And the year is 2024. Test 2, let's do HIV rapid test. The type of test kit, let's say the type of test kit is Unigold. Test results, let's say this is also reactive. Test 2 day, 8th of October, and the year is 2024. There's no syphilis screening. Had sex with males, let's say in the last 12 months, with females over 12 months ago, with persons of known HIV positive status, let's say never. Had sex with sex workers, never. Exchange sex for drugs or material gain. So you see the column headings are the same things you fill in on the system. And when we look at the screenings next week, you'll see that these are the things we have over several forms on the system that we're answering on one row on the sheet. So I'll just randomly answer anything here, and we will just use it to test the upload. Okay, so I filled in one row of information, and this is what it will take to fill in one row of information for one client. For first-time users, knowing what the column headings are might take more time, and when they get used to it, they'll know exactly what it is. You want to encourage, although we'll still do it in the other training for the VCT providers next week, you want the supervisors to encourage all users to carefully take their time to review what they have entered carefully before they submit. And now, just for the purpose of illustration, I will copy this and we'll paste it and just change their values so we can be faster. Okay, so I'll change this to number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. And I'll change this to, let's say, EEE222. I just want an ID that I can remember, so when we're trying to verify, we'll see. So we'll just change this. Let's change this to, we'll delete this cell. So in reality, we'll not be copying and pasting. I'm just trying to be fast. Okay, and let's change the facility type here. First name here, let's say the first name here is Mark. No middle name. Mark's last name is Damian. And mother's name is, let's say, George. Mark is a male. And the day of birth is, let's say, 20th of December 1978 or 1987. And Mark's country of birth, let's say, Dominican. Country of residence, Hill District, Parish, marital status, let's say divorced, let's say Mark is self-employed, Mark is, let's say, bisexual, gender identity is male, ethnicity, let's say Carib, highest level of education, let's say secondary, number of sexual partners, let's say 5 to 9, and let's add anal sex and let's add oral sex. Yeah. Let's leave the rest the same to be fast. And I'll change this one to a name here will be, let's say, Sky. And Sky's middle name is Moon. And Sky's last name is Doe. Sky's modern maiden name is Brown. And Sky is, let's say, intersex. Sky was born on the 9th day of November in 1972. Sky was born in Grenada, and Sky lives in Grenada. And let's give an address. Grenada. Let's say Sky is married, Sky is employed, Sky is, let's say, bisexual also. Sky gender identity is, let's say, male. Sky is, let's say, Hispanic. Highest level of education, let's say, university. A number of sexual partners that Sky has, let's say, 2 to 4. I'll just change this one time. So let's say some of them are diabetic. We'll just randomly change. We just want to see that the system accepts these values. So let's say this one is, let's say, non-reactive. And let's say non-reactive. We'll change the unique IDs here. The change. All of these are changed. I will change the country of birth here. The country of residence here. We'll change this one. Okay. So now let's say I have 5 clients on my sheet like this. I have their unique IDs EEE111 to 555. So we'll use this to verify if we have all their information saved. All the information here corresponds to the information from client registration to collection of personal information to risk factors and comorbidities and the screening, HIV screenings. This sheet collects any kind of screening information. If you want beyond HIV, where there is type of test here is where we select the screening that we are going to be doing. So the type of test here, well, if it was syphilis, we want to select that and then skip these other parts where ask for test kits, and you put the test result, the result day, month, year, and if there's another test you want to enter at the same time, or it's just one test, you skip all of test 2, test kit 2, test result 2, result day 2, and all of day 2. And then if it's syphilis, you enter the titer value. And if you, I don't know if for syphilis you collect risk factor information, but I know in those, anything about STI, you want to also know the risk factor in case if you want to put the person on any risk reduction plan. And so you can collect risk factor information for anyone you are screening. So we have this sheet now. The next thing to do is, once verified that the unique ID, the client credentials, and the screening information are all correct and accurate, you want to come to File, Save As, and then make sure you select CSV. You look at delimited.csv and you save as CSV. Let me save this in the same directory, my downloads. It will give you this warning that you can only save the active sheet, which means that when you are trying to save, you must be on your first sheet, which is client batch upload sheet, and then click OK. When I come back to my download here, I'll find the CSV file. I'm going to be uploading the one with .csv as the file extension, not the Excel extension. So I'll come back to this page now, and I'll come to my upload screening template. Choose file, and I want to choose the CSV file. Open. Now, once this is not successful, you'll find all sorts of error messages down here. If it's successful, it will give you all kind of blue banners telling you all of the files that were created for the client. So let's see if all is well. I'll click on upload, and I have all of the blue banners telling me antenatal account was created for clients. So everybody who is female or intersex, the system creates an antenatal account by default for the client. Antenatal accounts are created on the system for those who are biological female or intersex. Does not register a pregnancy. You just make sure the person has a unique ID on the antenatal system for whenever the person comes to register a pregnancy or comes in for antenatal. Then all of the things that were created, risk information, personal information, HIV file, and all of the files for everything was created. So we have success all through. There is no error, which means everything is accepted. This is what you want to see as a supervisor. Once you see this, you're happy, you can shut down, you can go home and sleep well. But if you don't see this, then you should not be happy. We can now come back here to verify if the information is there. So we've not done this yet, but I'll just log in as a tester and try to request file with that unique ID. So I'll come here, request release of client file. Today is 8th of October. And the unique ID, we use EEE. Let me use 444. And let's say we just want to view, so we're not doing screenings. And I click on submit. Now I have released the file and I can collect information. EEE 444. And I have it with everything filled in as we selected. So this particular client, the risk information was all updated. We have all of the information, Jane, Anna, David. The testing code was generated automatically based on these credentials. We can see the unique ID, and then we see all of the information of the client. The date of birth we used there was 8th October 2024, which makes this, so you see where we have an error with the date of birth from the sheet. So if we don't verify information, then we begin to have problems like this. Okay, problems like this where the date of birth is the current year rather than a year in the future. So when the fill in the sheet. Those are the things you want to verify, and there are places of common errors which most of you have on your life system, where you mistakenly enter the date of birth as the year of screening in a lot of people's file, or you enter the current date as their date of birth. And so these are the parts that I want to illustrate to see. Once you have an error on your sheet, this will come up. Okay, and then this kind of error can only be corrected by the supervisor, and the unique ID is EEE444, and we use this to illustrate what we couldn't illustrate yesterday, how to update this. Then we see all the information we filled in is all there as we've put them in, and we can decide to edit, update as the case may be. We look at the risk behaviors. We have all of them filled in already from what we entered before, and then we'll look at the comorbidities and other information all filled in. And the HIV screenings, we can see we did the rapid test that was reactive, and the date for the test was recorded. We look at the TB screenings too. We didn't do that. We didn't do syphilis. Other screenings will have this recorded. HIV will be recorded there in the screenings that we collected. So we can see that all the information collected on the sheet are where they are supposed to be on the system. When you review this and you begin to find errors like the one we saw with the date of birth, this is one thing that needs to be corrected, because you want to have the accurate date of birth and not that date that displays there. Does everybody understand?
Yes, so far.
Okay. So, in order not to stay for so long, one of the things I wanted us to do today was for anyone who doesn't feel so comfortable to share screen and try to do these edits while I guide you. Once you try it yourself, it will become even more understandable and easier. And as we are not so much today, it will be easy for everyone to get a feel with guidance, for you to be able to.
I'll try.
Okay, so Shane.
Bear with me a little bit here. Let me see.
Okay.
Need to find. Okay, I'm supposed to be logging into.
Okay, so it's also logging as an admin. So I'll have to change you to admin. Just log in as normal. Once I change it, to change what you see.
I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. I'm getting wrong details.
You log into the patient management and reporting system.
on your system, right?
You said?
On not on my learning system. On your system.
Yes, not on your learning system. This is the email address that is registered. Let me put this in the chat. This is the email address that you registered on the patient management and reporting system.
Change me to. I'm not in as admin though.
Yes, I'm updating you now. So.
Oh, okay.
Just so now just refresh your page, and then you see that your permissions have changed. Have you shared your screen?
Not yet.
All right. Okay, so the first thing is to download the template. Then you open the downloaded template.
You're not seeing it?
No, you have to share that screen.
Hamilton, where do I go to download the template?
I have to change all of your permissions to administration. All of your roles to administration first.
Oh, but just tell me, I can't remember where. I'll just look in our normal system.
Okay, you see download. You'll find the upload offline data.
Oh, batch administration batch upload?
Yes. And then you just click here to see the template.
Okay, I've got it.
All right. So now the next thing you want to do is to look at particular sheets. The sheet labeled testing site. You want to make sure that the testing site matches the testing site you have in your configurations. No, change sheet. The sheet you have to change, or the yes. So you go next and look for the sheet labeled testing site. So there are 7 sheets you have to make sure you verify: the testing site, the ethnicity, the modality, the test types, the gender identity, the parish, and the health district.
So I can.
So you can just delete them and then look at what you have in the configuration.
How do I delete these?
It's not selected. It's not highlighted.
No, it isn't.
No, take it out. Just use your delete button on your keyboard.
Not delete.
Use the delete button on your keyboard.
I did. It's not.
Not deleting, or maybe just delete cell by cell.
Okay. Wow. A lot of deleting.
Delete and see. Okay, now the reason you can't do anything on it is that you downloaded this thing from the internet and you did not enable editing up there on your screen. You can see that enable editing. At the top of your screen, you see protected view, enable editing.
Yeah, okay. You can see my screen now?
Yes, I can see your screen. So click on enable editing at the top of your the sheet. You'll find a yellow banner that says protected view. Because the file is from the internet, you have to enable editing manually. I can't see your screen anymore.
Like clear content? Okay. Right. So now I have to look for. How do I find the testing sites now, Mildred?
Have you found that?
No, I'm asking you how to find the testing sites.
Oh, you go to configuration, you go on the pages menu, you go to configuration, and then you select testing and management site.
Am I not seeing my screen? I'm not seeing my screen.
Yeah, no, you only shared this sheet, you're not sharing your entire screen.
Okay, so you want me to go now on. Where am I going now?
So you're going now back on the system, on the site, where you logged in as an administrator. So under the site name, when you get to testing and management site, under the site names, just copy each of the cells and paste them.
Sorry to be so slow, but. Okay, that's it, Mildred?
Yes?
Okay. That's it?
No, there's one more. St. Kitts and Nevis is not there.
Oh, it's not there. And I put it. It doesn't matter where I put it, right?
No, it doesn't matter where you put it. It just has to contain the same thing.
Okay. And that's what else you said? You said testing sites.
Then you look at the ethnicity.
Mildred, what's the format for the date of birth?
You said?
What's the format for the date of birth?
So you just put the day. It's not a date of birth. Is it date of birth you see? No, on your system is not updated. So what you get there is different from what you're seeing. So the update, if you're using your system, everything will be wrong.
No, I mean in the client batch upload in the.
No, there's no no, on the spreadsheet there's no format. You put the day separately, the month separately, the year separately on different cells.
Oh, sorry. The day of birth. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Thanks.
This
Cancel. And then delete the Spanish. Remove the highlight. Delete the Spanish. Yeah. And then start copying one cell at a time.
Okay. Mildred. Hello?
Yeah, sorry, my mic was muted. Yes.
Okay. So in the sex bit, right?
Yeah.
It's oral, vaginal, anal. But in the drop down, it has the same thing.
Yes, the same thing in the drop down, because the values it needs to accept is either oral. So if the heading is oral, you have to select oral there. And if it's vaginal, it has to be vaginal. If it's anal, it has to be anal, or you leave it blank. So if the answer to the question is the person has oral sex, you select oral under that column of oral. If the answer is if the person doesn't have oral, you leave it blank. Vaginal, you select vaginal, and under the one for anal, you select anal.
Okay, so they just have to be matching, not any of the three below.
Yes.
The diabetic, It's same thing. It has because I have true or false, so I wouldn't pick that. I would just pick yes or no.
Yes, you pick yes or no.
Oh, all right. Okay, thank you.
All right.
What's the other one?
So the next one is the modality.
Seem different. Okay. Yes, politics.
Okay, so the next one is the types of tests. So I think with test types.
Oh, any of these you want me to change?
Yeah, maybe just the HIV ELISA. If you're going to use that, it doesn't match. The spacing does not match. But I think the rest matches correctly. Or you can leave it if for this practice you're just going to be selecting HIV rapid test alone.
Test. Test types. Or screening list. No?
Yeah, it's going to be a screening list here.
Okay.
So once you for Harriet once you update the sheet, there are errors that are simulated to happen so that we can use that to illustrate other things. So once you've done everything correct, those errors might not just be your fault, it's just for this demonstration until I update the system. And those errors is things like the date of birth will not be where it's supposed to be. It's going to go in wrongly, just for us to see how to edit that later on.
I have to add this to the bottom.
Yeah, I can add it to the bottom.
Because when I try to add it up there, I can't get it added.
Add it at the bottom to see. Cancel. You only have to select the cell. You selected the whole row. Yeah.
Okay. And then I could just delete the one on top?
Yes, you can.
So if I can just delete it here or delete the entire row?
You can just delete it there.
Okay.
There's a hand thing somewhere. So, Milton,
Yes.
Milton, if I wanted the address to be selected, for example, can I just add another row and put addresses inside there?
Yeah, you can create another sheet with addresses, and then you want to now link it to that drop-down menu for the address template. So for the address column, so that you can be selecting address drop-down menu.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So you can do anything you want with the sheets. Don't just edit the column headings, and don't change the location of those columns. So if a particular column is on A, like it's on cell A or on column A, it has to remain on A. If it's on B, it has to remain on B, because the code at the back end reads the sheet cell numbers and the cell headings. And so once the column name changes or the cell location changes, it is going to have all your data going to the wrong places.
Okay.
Gender identity is the next one?
Yes, so the gender identity is next, and then parish and health district.
Mildred,
Yes.
when will you be required to use the sheet?
When you want to, well, at any time you want to. If you go on outreach, there's no internet service, or there is no internet at the particular location, or it now depends on the user, or people entering the data on the system can decide that they don't know how to use the system. They don't want to bother about knowing how to use the system. They just enter all the screening information on the sheet and submit it back to the supervisor. So there are many.
So you basically would be downloading the sheet before you go out on outreach
Yes.
and have the different persons populating the sheet.
Yes.
And
then when
then
they
when you go back to the office now, you upload
load
the
the
sheet.
sheet. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Is this acceptable, Mildred, just to delete that?
Yeah, it's acceptable. So again, you both your pilot site and your live site template will change when I do the uploads or the updates of the system this weekend, because the templates you have there is not correct. You won't get your values going where it's supposed to go to. I always wait until after the training to update any parts that we have done. So as much as you practice now and you check your values, it might go successfully, but they are not what they're supposed to be at this point on your different systems, because I have not uploaded the template since the first test we did several months ago.
Just fine. Yeah, fine. Okay.
Then the health district now.
What's the best thing to do, Mildred? Add on or delete and cut and paste?
Delete and cut and paste. Yeah, delete.
And paste. Because they might not be the same.
Yeah.
Although they look almost the same.
So, Mildred, once your Excel sheet is populated initially with those required these health districts and things that's supposed to be in the drop down menu, we won't need to do that every time we're going on.
Yes, you won't need to do that every time. But the sheet you will get from your life system is already configured, so you will not actually need to do this. But I just wanted the supervisors to know how to do this in the event that they need to add new things in the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think that's it, Mildred.
Okay, so now it's time to go back to the first sheet. Yeah, and then enter at least one row of information so that you can test. Scroll to the beginning of the sheet.
Not the big. Oh, sorry. Nothing there, Mildred.
Since you didn't save it, go and look at your testing site and see if it was saved. The sheet. You have a sheet testing site.
You mean in this, not the Excel sheet, the other sheet? Okay.
Yeah, the other sheet, yeah. Look for the testing site sheet. Let's look at the sheet you updated. Look at the modality sheet first. Let's see, the one you can see there. Like, leave this sheet and select the other sheet you just edited. So let's see if it's edited.
What you seeing?
I'm not seeing you are still on the client batch upload sheet. Switch to the testing site sheet.
This one?
Yeah, is it saved?
How would I know if it's there?
Just Control S again.
Control S.
Yeah. And then go back to the first sheet. Scroll down. Go back to the sheet. Select the testing site again. Go back to your first active sheet.
Here?
Yes. Select. Scroll down to see why you have many
It's
blanks.
probably not up. It's not scrolled properly, sorry.
Yeah, scroll up, yeah.
Okay. This is not a drop down menu, Mildred.
No, it's not No,
The
it's not a
year.
drop down menu. No.
Oh boy. It's trying to avoid looking for sync snippets. Uh, okay. Oh, okay.
No, under oral sex, it has to match oral.
Okay. I was wondering. So,
I can actually change that later on to just make sure the option is just what it's supposed to be.
and so if you want to just skip over, just skip them. Okay.
Yeah, you can just skip the ones that are not.
What there's strong falls here. For alcoholism.
Yes or no?
So you're gonna
The true or false, I'll change that. It's supposed to be true, another option false.
Oh, we not do that because I don't know the names of the test kits. So I could just not answer this, right?
We have to answer that.
Yeah. So then if it's okay, I'll see when I go further over. Yeah. I can upload this now, Mildred?
Yes, you have to convert it to CSV first.
Wow. So my downloads.
Yeah, so select file.
There's one of these, I think. Is it this one?
No, go on at the top, file. At the top where you have file, home, insert. The top of your Excel spreadsheet. You know where the green banner is there? At the top?
Oh, okay. I left that already. Okay, yeah.
File. At the first thing you see at
Yeah,
the top.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So save as,
Save as.
and then you select a place. And save as type. Change it to so look for CSV. Command limited. The top one. Go scroll up. You see CSV UTF-8 command limited. Just keep scrolling up. No, not that one. The one with UTF-8. No. Go back to save as type. Select the download where you want to save it.
Okay.
Scroll up. No.
Oh.
UTF-8. Yep. Yes, that one. So it has to be UTF-8 command limited.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yes. And then check your downloads to find the one with the extension .csv.
Go back now to choose file.
Yeah, go back. I can't see your screen. I can't see the screen, the case-based screen.
Oh, you want me to? You can't see that?
Yeah. No, I can't see that. I can only see the spreadsheet.
So you want to be able to see that? Or?
Yeah, let me see that so that when you are uploading, you can guide you there.
So what should I do? How do I do that? Stop screen? Stop share?
Maybe stop share and share that screen. Yeah.
You seen it now?
Yes, I can see it. I can see it. Oh, you unshare.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You can see it. Okay. So
you are looking for the that one, the one with comma separated, the first sheet you have there. You selected it already?
No, I'm just trying to be able to see my screen. I'm not seeing it.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that. Let's share it again. Okay. So this one, comma separated.
Yes. And then open and upload record. Yeah, so scroll down and make sure everything is blue. There is no error message. Now you have the day of birth is out of range. So for this client, everything has been created, but you cannot submit the screenings. Everything here has failed because of the day of birth. Let's go back to the spreadsheet. Okay, it might not even be your error, and the reason is I changed something for us to illustrate that's how to update sensitive information like date of birth. But share your spreadsheet. Let's see your values. So let's go to the day of birth.
Yeah, birth.
Yeah, keep scrolling. All the fields. Let's see. Wait, you just passed that already. Keep going back. After last name, just scroll. Yeah, day of birth, you put the day of birth is correct, 3/3/2023. So it might not be your error, it might be the error I tried to generate, just for us to be able to get to the next thing I want to show you guys. So everything is correct because it's about the date of birth. I was suspecting that it was not the error you created, it is an error that I'm trying to simulate. So I will show you exactly what we are supposed to learn out of this now. Okay, so everything is perfect. You did it well. Thank you. Okay, so I will share my screen again, and we've simulated the error and we've been able to see how an error will happen when you try to upload. Dr. Nisbet, your unique ID was what? I can't hear you.
Capital T, capitals, 234.
Okay. So all the T's are uppercase. Okay, yeah. So let's do something first. Let's even see which...
No, they're lowercase, sorry.
All lowercase.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, that error we got, it means that some data were not uploaded for that client because of that error. Now, the error is not about what you did wrong, it's about what I'm trying to illustrate, so that once you have problems like that in the future, if you have problems like that in the future, it will be because somebody entered things wrongly. So you enter correctly, but I tried to make the system accept it wrongly, the date of birth, so that we can use that to illustrate at least even two things. First of all, let's try to request release of that same file you just did, Dr. Nisbet. TTT 234 and submit. So now I want to collect it. Okay, so you can see all the information for your risk factor were collected. You can look down here to see the date of birth now timestamps today's date. This is the error. We want to see one of these errors like this. But when we get to screenings, and that's where the whole thing, you started getting your error message. You have your HIV screening recorded. You have your other screening information recorded twice. It recorded each of the different test kits you did. 2 times. The date of birth error that you got, because it was simulated, it didn't stop your data from entering as everything is correct. But if that error happens in real life, it is going to not enter into the system. So why did I do this? Yesterday, we looked at how to update clients' personal information, and we had no client on the system to illustrate with. And we said that the sensitive information for a client are the names of the client, the date of birth, the country of birth, and the ethnicity, the unique ID, and the testing code. These are things that will not change frequently except if it's entered in error. So this is at the point where the user will now request to the supervisor that the date of birth for this client with this unique ID is wrong and you want it updated. As an administrator, you come here, or log in as an administrator, and then I'm going to come back here. We looked at this yesterday, but I'm going to come back here, users and account, and update client's personal information. Enter that unique ID, TTT234, gets that information. And now, if at this point you know the client's name, you want to fill it in, you can do it here and update, but the date of birth is the one of concern. So the date of birth you had on your sheet was 2003. 2003. Okay, and then you update that date of birth. And this is how we update information. Once the name, the biological sex, the date of birth, ethnicity, country of birth, and unique ID changes, only the supervisor with the administration role can edit this. And so now we've updated the date of birth for the client here. So that was what I wanted to illustrate. So I'm going to change the backend back after all of this week's training, but the updates to both your pilot and your live site will be over the weekend. And so if you try this on your in-country system, you will get different types of errors, especially that the code at the back end is simulating an error, especially for the date of birth field, for us to be able to illustrate all of these changes that we couldn't yesterday. Okay, does anyone have any question? So fortunately, the template or the spreadsheet only handles screenings and doesn't do anything with clinical management or just HIV, or any kind of screening, HIV, syphilis, hepatitis routine. Does not collect data for clinical management or anything. Is a faster way to let your data entry clerk enter records if you are not able to teach them how to use the case-based system and they already know how to use the Excel sheet, and you set it up and you send them the Excel file, or they're in the same office, the Excel file is on the office, it's on the desktop with all of the different values configured to match what you have on your configuration. And that configuration is done just once. If you have just one downloaded and maybe there is a change, by this weekend I'll match them for you, so you won't need to do that. You just download and use. But if you have new changes after I update this weekend, then you have to add that change to your spreadsheet for it to show in the drop-down menu for the users. And then it will be easier to teach them how to use the spreadsheet to quickly create all the accounts and enter all the screening information before someone actually logs on to start doing the referrals and clinical management for those who are positive. So it's for use any way you want, either for outreach, for places without data, for other users who are more comfortable using spreadsheets and using the system. I don't know if it's faster. You have to time both usage to know which is faster and better. But it's you have to enter carefully. The supervisor has to review all the values entered carefully to make sure there is no error before you try to upload. You want to create within the countries a limit to say you don't want more than 20 records on one sheet. Use one sheet, 20 records, send it and use another one, or 10 records on a sheet. If you want to quickly look through things and upload, and that way you have all your CBS record on the system, and your reports will now be reflective of all the activities within the country. Does anyone have a question?
Yes, Mildred. So the administrator has access to that Excel sheet. How do you how do the testers get access to it? How do you
Okay, so because of this issue of the configuration must match, and then the issue of in the event where something is added to the configuration, we want the supervisor to remember to match these things before the users can download. The template on the system is what the users will download and see. Any changes you made to the downloaded one will not reflect. So it's best, and so it's disabled from the user's view, from the screenings and management page. They can't download the sheet. The supervisor have to download the sheet, make sure that all of the values match, and email the sheets to anybody who needs to use the sheet. So when there's an update, so it now makes things more intentional. When there's an update, you can now change things to now send. But if you want, we can actually allow the users to be able to download themselves. That will be very chaotic. It will create a lot of problems if there is a change and it's not communicated across.
Okay, I don't see a problem with just emailing it to those testers who are going to be testing on that particular day.
Yes, you can email, you can have one configured on your system that you just always share. And then since you have control of it, you will know exactly any day you make configuration change, you just remember that let me do it on the template spreadsheet I have and send to them to use from now going forward, use this new sheet.
Okay.
And so when they have it, they can save it and always make copies of the same sheet, except you now tell them you've changed some of the values and they need to use a new one.
Our culture is though that some persons don't like to see you typing into a computer when you're talking to them, because they feel that their information is going somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, some
more
people
accustomed to persons writing. So, but then it's a very. It's a big sheet. So.
If you have large printers that can print the sheets, like you have exactly the Excel sheet printed out on those large, I've forgotten the size of those papers, that you can see all the field, and you have it as a booklet that they fill in on paper. Now it's exactly on the same sheet. That will require a different kind of resource. Either to fill it there for people that are uncomfortable. There are people that don't want to see you with your phone or with your device when they are talking to you, they feel uncomfortable. There's nothing we can actually really do about that. For those clients, you just have to use paper and then enter it later on. Yeah, but if you but for the majority of the places and majority of the people, I think people are now more aware and don't really feel as bad as people used to feel in the past when they see you typing their information on the computer. So it's all still based on awareness and people understanding that typing it on the system doesn't mean that it is distributed to the whole world. It only just means that we don't want to use paper. It's easier to secure things more when they're on the system than paper or books can lay about and anybody can open it. Okay?
It's a matter of reassuring,
yeah. So anybody have any other question? Okay, so we are going to repeat. We did this in administration way for us to illustrate, make sure we have error and look at how to match configuration. We are going to do this for the VCT providers next week, but yours is just to learn how to fill it and send it to the supervisor. So we're going to repeat how to enter data into the sheet for the VCT providers next week within the countries. So if you don't feel so comfortable about today's, I'll share the recording again. Yesterday's recording is already available. I'm not sure if I shared the link. It's on YouTube on the same channel, and I will send an email with the link just in case you can't find the channel, and I would make this available. And this is repeated from 1 to 4, and it is going to be repeated on Thursday. All right. Right, so thank you everyone, and see you all next week for those who are not joining the repeats, and for those who are joining the repeats, see you on later.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye.